Ronin Chain. I'm here with Vanessa Shark for TeamJVS. We're covering WonderCon 2024.
Yes.
How are you doing, Vanessa?
I'm doing good. It's been fun. I actually was kind of anxious about this whole thing, this whole experience, but it's so much more, it's less overwhelming than I was expecting.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. Yeah, it's nice. I'm glad.
For both a positive and a negative, in my opinion, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But it is your first WonderCon, so congratulations on that.
It's my first WonderCon. Yeah. Ronan's been a great guide. Like, I don't know what I'm doing or where I'm going. I have no idea. Like, it's actually, the floor is much bigger than I thought it would be, so it's nice to have someone who's actually been here before help me out.
Just to set expectations clear, y'all, in our opinion, I'll speak, I don't know if I can speak for both of them, but I'll speak for myself that WonderCon could have done stronger with the advertising and people showing up. A lot of studios and big figures in the pop culture area pulled out either last minute or beforehand, which we'll get into. But we just let you know that for how we started, the vibe was cool, chill, and perfect way to start. Where there wasn't that much rushing, the floor wasn't that packed, and you can walk around not getting shoved or pushed and whatnot, and you just go shopping if you want it. Granted, I would recommend you don't start pulling your wallet out that quick, but Vanessa, you, again, your first time, you step into that floor, and you've been to San Diego Comic-Con, so you know the hectics that comes with Gaslamp, which I love Gaslamp.
I love Gaslamp.
How do you feel about the first floor opening and how it went about for you?
I like I said, I actually enjoy being able to. I'm 5 feet tall, so I get boxed out really easily unless I like force my way through, which is why I'm a pretty aggressive person because I have to like push my way through. And we were walking through. We walked in. We got in, and it was like. It was nice. Obviously, granted, we got in and like the bigger crowds came in later, but it was so nice being able to walk through each booth, being able to see all the stuff. We were there before a lot of people even set up, so we were able to go through Artist Alley and see a bunch of people and get to scope out the stuff that I want to check out later. I don't know. I compared to Comic-Con floor, the Comic-Con floor, where I honestly can't see anything. I have a mild claustrophobia, so I'm feeling really like boxed in. So I usually when I'm at Comic-Con, like at San Diego Comic-Con, I'm at the edges. Like, so I just like, I'm like, okay, let's go back in. Like, we dive back in, you know, like we're in the water. But here it was like, it felt like I was at a market, like a farmer's market, honestly, which is actually really nice in that perspective. It was disappointing to not see as many like people on the floor like you would, like we talked about. Funko pulled out the last minute. A lot of people were talking about that and are pissed about that. And a lot of big publishers weren't here, and so it's interesting. It's weird. It's a weird vibe. I don't know what caused this, but
and it's been 4 years since the pandemic hit, and I would think that by now, because people for years have been saying San Diego Comic-Con it's not a Hollywood con, it's not about comics anymore. To which I disagree, even though I can understand that perspective. Yeah. I would think more than ever that WonderCon would be the deep comic centric festival, and more than others, I would think that like indie films or cult classic shows or whatnot would go and promote their stuff and whatnot. A good example, which we might cover tomorrow, but a show like X-Men 97 having a big presence would have been, I think, a huge deal, because I tend to realize now that a lot of people grew up on it, but a lot of people didn't grow up on it. And but I think that for what we got, it was a soft opening and it was good. Nothing too rushed, too harsh, but there was plenty of stuff to go around. There was people already offering 25% off on hardcovers and whatnot that I might go pick up tomorrow. But it was a chill time, and initially for me, because I introduced you to bumped to like 4 or 5 people I recognized from
everybody, dude.
From social media and from YouTube and whatnot, which you can see photos on the internet. But it was fun to rekindle with people that you normally interact with on a virtual level. But after exploring the floor and trying to just calm down after just traveling and whatnot, because you flew in last night, I just flew in this morning. We made our way to finding, showing Vanessa more stuff. So, like, for example, the upper levels is where the panels are at, or where there's press room, or where there's a press recreational room where people can relax and charge and edit, fix whatever they got to do. And it was a unique thing to do because unlike San Diego Comic-Con, where you have to go to a hotel or 2 hotels to do that, it was all in this one building.
Mm-hmm.
It was in, as far as I know, 1 level, and it was easy peasy for me.
Yeah.
I mean, how did you handle that?
The navigating like the whole thing. Yeah, no, it's super easy. Actually, I was like, oh my god, where's this place? And I'm like, oh, it's just right around the corner. It's just right. Like, it's actually really easy to navigate, so I didn't have any issues with that. Especially when what was it like? We had an alarm go off.
Oh. So yeah, so I think we could say that we only covered like 2 panels today.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's one of the beautiful things, but also trying to think where all right, it's only 3 days. It's not a 4-day weekend of an event, but a lot of for us big stuff that we wanted to go see weren't that popping that much. But you did go see first panel for yourself.
Yeah.
And I believe as it concluded, the alarm went off, and as I was prepping to go to my panel, the alarm went off, and it just went bonkers. But we'll get into that in a bit. What panel did you go cover?
I went to Magma Comics. They are creator-owned comics. They're like some of like really popular writers that I've been fans of. Jackson, Colin Kelly, and Jackson. What's his name? Oh my god, I'm like blanking on his name. Jansen Lansing and Colin Kelly. And Steve Orlando are part of like this Magma Comics things, creator-owned initiative. One of the big things I think my big thing is comics. So like I interview a lot of DC writers and a lot of indie writers. And one of the things I hear a lot is like the big 2 are a lot strict about their IP, and so like a lot of creators want to do their own thing. And Magma, like this is their launch of their inaugural titles. So we got like Jackson and Colin with this new artist named Eamon, who literally tweeted at them. We talked about it. They talked about it on the panel. They were literally like, "We need an artist that can fit this vibe," and it's called the story is called "The Principles of Necromancy." It's like a fantasy world without magic, and it's about the main character is a doctor, a physician who's trying to bring people back from the dead. And like they were like, "We need someone." Like they literally put out a call on Twitter, and like reached out, like tweeted at him like I can help out, and he's literally is his first ever interiors, like sequential interiors, which is fucking cool. The dude tweeted at them and now has a job. And one of the cool things about Magma is that they apparently the contracts, they give them way more ownership of their whatever, like they own their titles. Yeah, they own their titles, and they gave the artist, at least Eamon, I think it's Eamon, a fucking, what's it called? What are they?
Commission or upfront?
Yeah, upfront. Yeah, like actually like was a living, wage he can like work on while he's like
while he's doing the book.
While he's doing the book, which is like honestly unheard of anymore. Not for comics. So I was like really impressed. It's really cool. I'll be obviously like I'm gonna be fleshing out that in like a couple articles, coming out. But it was really dope to see writers that I respect talk about their projects. We have Steve Orlando's got this thing called the Scale Trade, which is about dragons and illegal dragon trading, which is wild. Like there's a lot of cool shit coming out of Magma, and from writers that we all know and stuff. So it's pretty dope. And it was nice to talk to them. And we stopped by the booth and talked to them a little bit more because I was curious about kind of like how many issues they were getting and stuff like that. And I want to talk to them and interview them more, so hopefully I'll be able to do a follow up with them. But yeah, it was a pretty cool panel. A lot of people were talking, and yeah, I like it. Like I said, comics is my thing. So anytime I'm I see people doing stuff like this, I'm fully invested. Yeah. What about your panel?
So I was prepping. I dressed for the occasion. I was prepping for actually X-Time's conversation. I adore that lady and what she's done for the community of pop culture, what she's done for the female community. And yeah, we were just another hour just to hang out with and hear her stories and us maybe ask some questions and whatnot. But right before it started, the previous panel prior to her was people were attending and watching it, and we were also being allowed to go in. They weren't gonna clear the room. Next thing you know, bam, these flashes and this noise start popping up, and it's like that's a fire alarm, right? But it's like no one's running, no one's yelling, let's get him out. and there's no smell of fire, no sense of danger and whatnot, just that there's this loud noise. And it was chaotic because how do you do that? Is it a false? Is it just a practice and whatnot? And if so, how do you react to that? And so eventually people will be like, oh yeah, move people around, move people out. Yeah. A lot of people didn't stay. I stayed just because I was just like, well, it's not true. It's not truly clear of like, all right, are we in danger or not? And so
Ronin stayed inside. I left. I was like, I'm gonna just chill because I don't know what's going on. I was like, I'm inside.
I checked on you.
I'm looking for. Yeah, he did check on me. I'm looking for evidence. Anyway. Yeah.
And so I stayed close to the stairs and whatnot to be like, okay, I can dip and whatnot or start jumping like anime and whatnot. But seeing it was false, I don't know what happened, but I was just like, okay, that's a hell of a way. I felt so bad for the panel prior to Ashley's, and I had just passed through Ashley and her husband, and I was just like, well, what's going to happen to the panel? And granted, safety first, but people were pumped. Let me tell you, folks, her panel was if not full, close to it. People were just coming in with gear. When she came in, it was like if the Beatles entered the room, and when she left, it was like if, again, footage that we all seen from the 60s of people just going at the Beatles and whatnot. And it was sweet because she told some very wholesome, funny stories about her and her husband and why she chose to do her universe movement, what it meant to go down the road of performance as an actress, and the hard decisions that I didn't know about when it was a certain time in their lives. And so it was sweet to do that, and how she just been the closest thing I could think of is like a Mr. Rogers neighborhood, if you will, where it's like Mr. Rogers didn't have his own clothing line, but she does, and she was very, at one point, instead of a Q&A, she was like, I want to just talk to people, raise your hands, and I want to be your hype friend. And she gave out stuff from her line from Ahsoka, and it was sweet. All the kids and all people, folks and whatnot, just gathering. And I was lucky to snag a photo, and so it was a really sweet moment. And I was like, it made it worth it for that time. But those were the main two panels that we covered. And I have to admit, you tell me if you disagree with me on that. To me, where I felt the energy the most, and nothing against Ashton, nothing against the Magma Studios. To me, what it felt was when we passed through the whole crowd that was just cosplaying. You felt the energy when it comes to these cons and going to these events where you save up money for 2-3 months to go to this con and stay at a hotel either nearby or close by. I felt, this is what a con's all about. And I love the thrill of what San Diego Comic-Con does and whatnot, but I was just like, for something that, again, I think there's plenty of opportunities to improve on. The cosplay community, the people that were outside of the main entrance where there's a low fountain. Yeah. Being there, it's like, okay, you felt like this is the closest we're going to get to like WonderCon popping out or not, even though there's no really studios kicking in. Yeah.
I think like, if nothing else, the people will always bring the energy. Like, it's one of the best places to like people watch. The amount of cosplay, excellent cosplay, the variation, everyone just yelling. You can hear people yelling across each other like, oh my god, you look so good. Yeah. Oh my god, I love that. Like, people yelling it, can I take your picture? The compliments. It is probably one of the most supportive atmospheres I've ever been in. That's why I love going to cons in general, because everyone, even if you're not even dressed up, someone will be like, oh my god, you look so good. I'm like, thank you. Like, it's such an affirmative like environment. You just feel good, like basking in that energy. Like, we were just walking through the crowd, like it was nice. Like, I don't need like the hustle. I don't need a bunch of big stars or celebrities like to have it. Like, it's nice to see everyone just like fully embrace and enjoy each other. Like, that's cool. It's really cool.
I was happy to compliment this dude who was either, I forgot what his name is, Triangle or Pyramid or whatever. Yeah. From Silent Hill.
Yeah,
like, Silent Hill.
The big thing.
And he was like, thank you. And then there was this individual that played David Tennant's character from The Good Omens, and I was just like, David Tennant would be proud. And he's like, oh, thank you. Yeah. And I saw this, and I told you that there was this one dude dressed up as Paul Atreides, and I let it go, Lisa, and he would just like did the whole night thing, and I was just like, I love this.
Yeah.
If only I wasn't tired, I would have stayed there longer and not come back to my room to just recover and just ease off a little bit. But yeah, I think that I mean, we did go back to the floor, and you know what? I'll show it. I did a little shopping. I didn't think I was gonna do shopping. I tend to hold back, but I was just like, all right, it's not the first hour or two of the event,
right?
And I saw these prices, and I was just like, I'm just getting one now.
You kept yourself in check.
I did. Hopefully, I did. Because I'm on an X-Men high right now, thanks to 97. I got myself some X-Men comics. I got John Byrne's last X-Men comic that he drew before he left. I got X-Men, Uncanny X-Men 171 when Rogue joins the X-Men. So it was fun to snag these for like $30 or less. But yeah, I sense that I'm going to be spending more money tomorrow or Sunday. And I think to wrap things up, I say that okay start. Could have been better. Thank God for the cosplays and thank God for our panels that we went to where we got some energy out of it. I feel that if everything lines up and it's not as chaotic as I unfortunately do think it might be, tomorrow there's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about. It's gonna be, there might be a larger video coming down the pipe about talking stuff that we saw and what we experienced. And
really excited. We've got Marv, Wolfman, Gale, Simone, X-Men 97.
Scott Pilgrim. Collider panel.
There's a lot going on tomorrow.
Mark Bernardin signing. The X-Men 97 signing. There's a lot of stuff that hopefully we can give you guys a little taste of what it's like for us to be here. Right now I need food and bed. I need my 10 hours. But Vanessa, any closing final thoughts for day one for the con?
It was a good time. I'm having a good time. I'm excited. I'm honestly really excited for tomorrow. And I'm honestly not looking forward to the rain. We have a flood watch from 4 a.m. starting at 4 a.m. tomorrow. So it'll be fun. Thanks to Anaheim. But I'm excited. And make sure you guys follow TeamJVS on all of our platforms because we'll be updating everything. You can follow me at Vanessa Shark. I will also be updating. You'll just get mostly random thoughts on Twitter like, evacuation! Nothing coherent until I write up my story, write up my interviews. So we'll be doing video content and article content. Ronin, last thoughts?
I think that if everything lines up, tomorrow's going to be awesome. And I'm going to be tired by Saturday evening.
I know.
But I'm pumped for it. If you bother checking this out, thank you so much for checking it out. Hopefully, if you are attending the event, hopefully you're having a great time. If not, don't stop trying. Come at least once to WonderCon. It is a hell of a thing to experience. Not just because Hollywood isn't here, but because there's something, I feel, this is the perfect way to say it. There's something for you to like in here. Yeah. Whether it's a lot or little, that's up to the individual itself, but there should be at least something that people like. There was everything from video games, Tolkien, Star Wars, Star Trek, superheroes, indie movies, indie comic books. I mean, the works. But yeah. Good night, everybody, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Falling out the top of the I can see the skyline, 50 mile radius on my timeline. Ain't nothing on my mind.